Well, the time has come, over 50 episodes in, and we've got the magic moment we've been waiting for in this series. Welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 53, and today we're making our England international debut. Yes, as you can see on the screen, we're playing against Ireland in an ODI series. I'm not quite sure how based on our recent form. We've only played 2 games in the one-day season. We've missed the last couple to prepare for this, and I'm guessing we'll miss that Surrey one as well, as it was due to be played on the same day. We've been in pretty poor form, as you saw in the last episode, and we didn't do too much better in the one after that. A rain-affected game where we couldn't succeed, as we were forced to be more aggressive than we'd like to. But first, before we get into our England international debut, a massive thank you to everyone that's followed along with the series so far. I really hope you're as excited for this moment as I am, and if you are, please put a thumbs up on the video, and if you're new to the channel, then subscribe for 2 episodes a week from this career, as well as daily FM20 content. But we've got a really big occasion ahead of us today, and I really can't wait to get going and hopefully finding that return to form. I feel like we needed something to inspire us back to our best, and this should certainly be it. And arguably we're probably going up against a weaker bowling attack than we would if we were playing in one of the county games in the one-day tournament. So let's go and have a look to see if we can find out what happened in the last game, just so I can show you what happened in that one-day match. So I think it'll be all the way back in round 2. In fact, we're not even in Division 1, I don't think. So let's go across to Division B. We've played a few games already in the tournament, and the side are doing okay without us, to be fair. We're certainly not going to complain about that. So this is the game against Warwickshire. At Edgbaston we won by the Duckworth-Lewis method. Our Yorkshire side bowled out their 50 overs, but then unfortunately our innings was reduced, and you can see we're not on the list of top scorers there, so we certainly didn't have a good day again. We didn't bowl at all, but the ones that did a great job of restricting them, and then we came in and got 11 off 16. Ashton Agar, the Australian international, got us. Again, it was spin outside off stump. I just do not know how to play it, so I'm going to have to be careful in this one. If spin comes in, I'll be really cautious, and then we'll have to be more aggressive against the others, try and make up for the lost time. So let's go and get into this game against Ireland, a monumental moment in the series, a one-game ODI, probably just to test a few backup players. I'm sure we'll see from the squad that come out. A really good side aside from us, so hopefully we'll be able to get a good result. We just want to contribute on a dusty hard pitch, certainly a slightly different surface to what we're used to, and that could cause big trouble when the spinners come in. We really may have to go for a low score in total here. So let's go and get into this game against Ireland, a magical moment in the series, a good performance in our ODI debut, and maybe a test call won't be too far away. So we'll be back in a moment for the toss to see if we'll be getting to battle bowl first. Well, the scene is set. We're here for our international debut, a nervy moment in the career. We've got a few good players out, and you can see they are rotating a little, trying to get a few youngsters in. Sam Haines, the skipper, for some reason, despite Joe Root, Johnny Bairstow and loads of experienced players being there. But it's a mix of really good experienced players and a few high quality youngsters coming through. It's exactly what we probably want for this sort of game. Quite an exciting moment for us. And with us not being the only debutant, there is a little bit less pressure. This is a bit more of an experimental side. What it does probably mean is they're not thinking of us as a regular player for England yet, so we probably don't want to get too excited in that regard. But let's see what happens in the toss as England call tails, and hopefully our skipper will win it for us. He doesn't, he loses out, so Ireland will be choosing. What are they going to go and do first? Let's say they bowl so we can put a score on the board. They've chosen exactly that, so we'll be back in a moment to face the first ball of the innings. Opening with Johnny Bairstow for England. What a fantastic moment it's going to be. Well, we're about to face the first ball, but let's have a look at the lineup we've got here. Tom Curran and Jofra Archer in the bowling attack, Moeen Ali and Ben Stokes amongst the all-rounders, Josh Buttler the wicket-keeper, Bairstow and Root at the top of the order. So much quality across the board. Let's get going into our first delivery though, as we've got a bowler coming around the wicket, a bit difficult for us as a left-hander. In fact, I think he's a lefty, is he? No, he's not, so we just defend the first one. Goes down as a late miss, there's plenty of pace on it, and hopefully we'll do a bit better with the next one. Second ball in for the Irishman, then continuing around the wicket, trying to go a bit narrower, but we're just letting them through, almost bowling a test line in the first over, and with this sort of pitch it's certainly not a bad idea. We're going to find it very difficult to get away. I don't mind if we start slowly here, certainly not in a rush to get going. You can see the amount of deviation on the pitch there is, but they packed the offside just waiting for an edge or attack, and it's not something we're going to risk yet. So they have opened up a little gap now, just between that sort of point and cover region, so if we can get one to cover point, it's looks great, but we've got ourselves out for a duck. Oh, that is awful. Why did we do it? And we've got a duck on our international debut. We certainly won't be getting a game for a while after this. We're not going to challenge it. It's absolutely pointless. And we're out for 0. It couldn't have been worse. And our dream has turned into an absolute nightmare. 4 balls faced, no runs on the board. And I doubt we'll get an international chance for some time. Well, we're back into the bowling innings. We've been given a small chance to redeem ourselves. The only consolation for me is that Joe Root also got a duck, so we weren't the only one who failed. But aside from that, nearly everyone else got a big score, and a couple of the other youngsters impressed. As a result, we got on to 319 for 7. Really good innings from most of them. And we're now back with Ireland 105 for 1. They're going along pretty nicely so far. If anyone can help me down in the comments, what can I do outside off stump? I've just lost all of my confidence and form there, and they seem to be bowling the perfect line to it. But we're back with the ball. We've got a chance to spin our usual field against the right-hander, and hopefully we can do something special here and give ourselves a chance to get another game for England. On the stump's first ball, beats the fielder on the leg side, but he just about gets round before the run and restricts us to a dot ball to start. Hopefully with the ball we can be economical. Certainly need it after that batting display. We looked out of sorts in every delivery, and as a result we've got to save ourselves with a ball. Another dot, 2 balls gone, and Ireland looking pretty comfortable at the moment. In we come for the third of the over, just a standard off breaker, bit closer to the offside, but he's flicked that away to the leg side. It's going to go for at least 1 or 2, and it looks like the fielder's managed to cut it off. 2 runs conceded, not the best ball. We probably need to try and go a bit wider. Well, time to flight one in, I think. We've got a slip in, so let's go a little bit wider here. Just outside off, try and tempt him into a shot. But again, they're pulling to that leg side. And again, they're going to add another run to the scorecard. In fact, they're going to get back for 2. That's really sloppy fielding. And they just about make it back. 4 runs conceded off 4 balls. 2 balls left in the over then. The pitch is sort of drifting the ball across. We need to go even wider if possible. That one's a bit better outside off stump. Cramped him up. He had to play defensive. And he goes straight to the man at cover for a dot. We'll finish with a top spinner as we always do at this sort of level. So let's just see what it does. And he tries to put it away to the leg side. But he only finds the fielder for a good finish to the over. 4 runs conceded off our first international over. But after our batting display, we're probably going to need a bit more than that. Well, we've got the opposite batsman at the crease this time for our second over, and he's certainly more dangerous. John McDonough, who's had a brilliant spell, 62 off 61, and you can see the aggression he was putting into those shots. Thankfully, he picked out the fielder on this occasion, though, so it's not too bad for us to start the over. Let's see if we can force him a little wide. Will he go defensive? He's got a lovely cover drive there, but he's straight at the fielder, so another dot. A pretty good start to the over for us. We're going to go full, try and bring the LB into play, see if we can catch his feet out. We don't, but we do restrict them again. Half an over and we're on course for a maiden. We're going to put in the flighted one. We always do it at least once an over. Again, we're just going to try and tempt him slightly outside off. He has to defend. That's a really good delivery. And we're just 2 balls away from a first international maiden. Standard delivery for the penultimate ball. One of the best deliveries, certainly undervalued. Just outside off, he has absolutely hammered that. 1 bounce to the fielder at cover, either side, and it was crushing to the boundary. A final ball's a top spinner as always. We got a dot ball off it in the first. In the second, what can we do? That's an LB shout. I think it's just outside off. But most importantly, it's going to be a dot ball. And we seal an international maiden. We're starting to recover with the ball. Our confidence building again after that awful batting display. Well, third over, Ireland slowing down a bit now. We've got Barry back at the other end for us. We're going to bowl straight at the stumps. He goes for a big one, exposed his stumps, hooks it over the head of the fielder, and the leg gully man's going to chase it to the boundary, but he's got absolutely no chance of getting there. 4 conceded, the first boundary we've let go, and unfortunately that's not a good sign. The confidence is very fragile at the moment. The dot ball follows it up, although they do think about a run, and the fielding's sharp, which forces them back. Almost a calamitous run out for Ireland. We'll go for a full one. Let's get that LB into play. See if he wants to expose his stumps again. We ironically went a little bit wide that time, and this one's gone for 4 as well. This is just turning into an absolute nightmare. We couldn't have asked for a worse international debut. We're going to bowl really wide outside off now, try and force him into an edge, and again he's just hooked it over the leg side. That's 12 runs off the over, and I don't know what's happened after the last one. Barry is going on the offensive against us. We're going to go really wide now. I mean as in a horrendous tremendous delivery. See what he tries to do with it. Let's go wide outside off. Oh, he nearly edged that, did he? I'm sure he got something on it. We just went to appeal to try and distract the umpire to make sure he didn't give a wide for the delivery. We'll finish with a top spinner though. Again, we'll try and get it closer to the stumps now. He goes for it outside off. He did edge that one. And with the final ball of the over, we take a wicket. We took some punishment in that over, conceding 12 runs. But with the final ball, we get the edge. And it's through to Jos Buttler with safe hands. I hope they don't challenge it. It was a very thin edge. Hopefully he'll walk off. He does. We get our first international wicket. And at least we've achieved something today. A brilliant moment, but we can't really celebrate as the rest of this day has been absolutely awful. Well, 1 for 16 off 3 overs, a little expensive but not horrific figures. And look what we've got, 2 new batsmen at the crease. Well, we've got a wicket at the other end as well. That was another youngster, Matthew Carter. So a really interesting moment as they continue to try and pull the leg side. But a dot ball to start the over. The batsman survives his first ball. We're going to float one in, again a little wider. Seems to be really working on this pitch. So if we can get it wide enough, we can force the edge. Just try and make them play outside off. There you go, went for the defensive, almost took a creak off the bat, but unfortunately it just went through to the keeper. Another dot ball to continue. Third of the over, we're going to keep that wide line, just try and tempt him outside off. Of course it's the one that got us out as well, shows we probably should have been more patient, and we're going to try and continue to build the dot pressure and force Styles into something silly to get off the mark. This one's defensive again, straight to the fielder at cover. 4 really good balls in this over so far. 2 to go, so we're going to chuck in the full delivery. Again, we're going to be a little bit straighter with this one. He goes big, but it's only going to find the fielder. Oh, they're trying to run through for a single. I thought it was a direct hit. Direct hit, he would have been out. But on this occasion, unfortunately, he just snuck through. Through to the keeper, he didn't take the bails off for some reason. And as a result, the batsman just got through for 1. It means we're facing Sterling, who's again yet to get off the mark. We'll finish with our top spinner as usual. Worked brilliantly in the last over to get a wicket. In this one, oh, it's edged. It's going to run away to the boundary, but he's edged it for 4 just between slip and gully. That is unfortunate for us, but a really good delivery which is tempting the batsman. 4 runs conceded, a little bit harsh on the bowler, but a good over for us, and again we're starting to get back on top. Well, 5th over, our spell continues, and this partnership's building quite nicely for Ireland. They're off the mark and they're going along okay, as we almost force an edge again, and the amount of dot balls we can get at the moment are almost as good as wickets with the target they're chasing. So let's go for the flighted 1 second. Again, we're just going wide outside off, and maybe that's the adaptation that took a little while. We're so used to bowling at the stumps in county cricket. We've got to respect the quality of opposition we've got. We've got to respect international pitches. They're made to be wicket taking to present more of a challenge, and of course we've got to adapt to that as the bowler. So an off breaker, we're going to go full, try and bring LB into play. Not really worked today, that type of delivery, but we will just chuck in the odd one to surprise them. 2 balls left in the over, we've had another dot. We're trying to bowl wide and bring this slip in. We might even put another slip in the field actually, as the gully fielder does brilliantly to stop that one. Fantastic stuff, and we're 1 away from a maiden again. We've got that wicket taking top spin delivery. Let's see what it does here. Goes for a big one. That is a fantastic shot. It's going for 4, just 1 bounce to the boundary. Brilliant shot to finish up, probably just a little wide with that one. 4 runs off the over, not a terrible one, but another boundary for this Ireland side. Well, we continue our spell into a 6th successive over. 31 gone for the side now. Ireland only halfway towards their total, but they've gone big there. And now we're getting a little bit too wide. We're trying to be greedy where we're bringing the edge. So we're just going to have to rein it in a little bit. Sterling's being the aggressor of these 2 batsmen, and we have to adapt to that extra bit of skill. And this time we'll bowl straight at the stumps. Straight to the fielder, deals with a dot ball, and we've got to adapt to a fielder that can't play through leg side. So we're going to go for a full delivery. Let's just try and bring the LB in again. Always 1 surprise and over. This one he's hooked away, but again just to the fielder, and we'll continue to try building the dot pressure. They've got to go Ireland at this point. They've only got 18.5 overs to get 160 runs. They're going to have to go big if they want to get here, and the rest of the bowling attack's probably better than us, so we'd expect them to try and attack us. This one's just a single. They're forced into a defensive shot, and it's starting to bounce up a little now, which is looking good for the way we bowl. So we're going to float one in for a penultimate ball, just slightly outside off with this one. Oh, has that got an edge? I think that's got something on it. We're very unfortunate if that's gone between bat and body, but unfortunately it looks like it has. So So a top spinner to finish. Again, we're not going to go too wide and greedy this time. Straight at the sumps, it's hooked away. It's just going to be a single to finish. So 5 off the over, not bad after the first ball. We did cause a few problems, and we're continuing to probe for a wicket. Well, that's the end of our spell and the end of the match. Certainly not the debut we were dreaming of. It started as an absolute nightmare, though it did improve as we went along. Certainly not the worst in the end, particularly with the ball, but with the bat I'm sure we won't get a chance to open again. We might have to wait a while. We haven't impressed. We had a one-off game to really stand out, and again we fished at something silly outside off stump where we really didn't need to take that risk. So we're out for a duck with 4 balls gone, one of the few ducks we've had in our career, and he's come on our international debut. The only solace was that Joe Root did the same, but of course that's not going to mean much to the England selectors. So after the 50 overs, Ireland were chasing 320, and they only made it to 273. We did take our first international wicket. Barry caught behind by Buttler from an edge. Of course it was after we'd taken some massive punishment in that over, but afterwards we reined it in pretty well. The main thing is we bowled amongst the elite today. We took a wicket, we held our own in terms of economy, so a really decent match for us and a great experience, even though we'll probably have to get back into form before we get another chance. We're not going to be given another chance based on that batting display unless we've got another easy game coming up. So let's get back to the Career Hub and see what that means and when we might be back for our next episode. So we're back to Career Hub, and as we predicted, it was just a one-off game. Pakistan are over in England playing a tour now, but we've not been called up for that one, so we're back for the next one-day game. Then we've got a few first-class ones in a row, so I'll probably show one of those 4-day matches, as we obviously want to break towards the England Test team. It's the only area we look like showing some form as well, so obviously I want to show something positive, and in a one-day game we've just got to be more patient, and as a result it'll probably be a less exciting innings than normal. But if you did enjoy this episode and a monumental moment in the series, an England debut is something special, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of it. Have you had a worse debut for your international side? A duck after 4 balls, not exactly what we were hoping for, but of course we did manage to recover a bit, and that showed a little mental strength. But of course we've got to get back to form. Let me know what I can do outside off stump. On his hardest difficulty I just cannot find the timing at all, and almost everything we connect with is edged, whether it's caught behind or goes for 4 runs. We've got a big spell coming up of first-class games, and that I am looking forward to actually. A real chance to be patient. You don't have to play outside off there, and it just allows us to build our innings comfortably and work a bit like we did in our Ashes series beforehand. Subscribe to the channel for 2 episodes a week from this Cricket 19 career. Hopefully a second England game isn't too far away, and we'd love to make a Test debut at some point this season, but we know our form needs to drastically improve for that. We will give ourselves a bit more of a chance with the ball, particularly in the one-day games for Yorkshire. As skipper now we've got the opportunity to do that, and we need to do something to make our form look good. There's also daily FM20 content from 2 long-term stories starting on Monday. The Head Coach series is back for FM20. The first video will be out on Monday at 4:30, and then our Dorking Wanderers story continues as we try to take them to the top of English and European football. That one's continuing every other day, so we'll be back tomorrow and then on Tuesday again. Then finally we've got the last episode of our beta save with Luton Town. That one's out at 4:30 today. It's the relegation decider to see if we can keep our beloved club up. We've really tried hard on a shoestring budget, and it all comes down to the last few games of the season. So do go and check that one out and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and your continued support with the series, and I hope to see you next time as we return to county level and hopefully with it return to form.